She kissed me goodbye at the airport and whispered, "I'll wait for you." 8 months later, I received divorce papers, served with a photo of her and another man, smiling on a beach I'd never been to. I still remember the smell of jet fuel and the ache in my stomach as I boarded that plane. Deployments were never easy, but this one felt heavier. Maybe it was because we had a kid now, a 2-year-old boy who just started calling me Dada with that raspy toddler voice. Maybe it was because Mia cried harder than usual that morning, her hand trembling as she helped me zip my pack. Or maybe I just sensed something was coming, something dark that would change everything. My name's Ethan. I'm 32 now. At the time of all this, I was a sergeant in the U.S. Marines, heading to a forward operating base in northern Iraq. My wife, Mia, was 29. We met 6 years ago when she was still in art school, and I was a boot with a shaved head and shaky confidence. She painted like her life depended on it, wild acrylics and messy canvases, taped to every inch of her dorm walls. I love that about her, the chaos, the color, the fire. She dropped out when she got pregnant, something we didn't plan but embraced fast. We got married at the courthouse 2 weeks before I shipped out for advanced training. By the time our son Noah was born, we were living in a cramped one-bedroom apartment in Fayetteville, North Carolina, scraping by on military paychecks and Target coupons. We fought sometimes, sure, but I thought we were solid. I really did. I never imagined I'd be one of those guys. You know, the ones who come home to an empty house, or worse, to a stranger's shoes by the bed. But here I am. Another cliche in camouflage. I'm not writing this for sympathy. I don't need people telling me you deserve better, or she was never worth it. I know that now. I'm writing this because I need to get it out. Because I still wake up some nights thinking I'm back over there, dust in my mouth and gunfire in the distance, only to realize the real war started when I got back home. This is the story of how my wife promised to wait, and how that promise meant nothing the moment I turned my back. Deployment days were long, but nights were longer. I made it a point to call Mia every Sunday night. Her time, my early morning. Most weeks, the call went through. We'd talk about Noah, about how she was managing work and daycare, about anything to make me forget the heat and tension of where I was. But around month 3, something started to shift. She was harder to reach. At first, she'd answer with an apologetic smile, saying Noah was running a fever or that the Wi-Fi was acting up again. Then the calls started getting shorter. "Sorry, babe, I'm exhausted," she'd say, rubbing her eyes as if to prove it. Sometimes she didn't pick up at all. I tried not to panic. I mean, parenting a toddler is hard. Parenting alone, even harder. I told myself she was just overwhelmed. She was still posting online, though, just not answering my calls. Then came the photo. One of my buddies, Jake, was scrolling through Facebook during a rare quiet moment on base. He nudged me and said, "Yo, man, this your wife?" I leaned over and froze. It was Mia, on a beach I didn't recognize. She was wearing that black halter dress I got her for our second anniversary, the one she said made her feel like summer in human form. And next to her, arm around her waist, was a guy I'd never seen before. Sunglasses, shirtless, grinning like he belonged there. She'd been tagged in the photo by someone named Lauren C., one of her old friends from college. The caption read, "Reunited for beach weekend. Can't believe how cute these two are." My heart dropped. I zoomed in on the guy. He looked about my age, maybe a little younger, with a gym body and a tribal tattoo snaking up his left arm. The comments were full of emojis and compliments, but none of them mentioned me. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe a misunderstanding. Maybe just a friend. Mia was always friendly. That didn't mean she was cheating, right? Still, I couldn't shahabikibet. So I did something I'd never done before. I looked through her profile like a stranger would. The first thing I noticed, our wedding photo was gone. She used to have a picture of us at the courthouse. Me in my dress blues, her holding baby Noah, both of us laughing like idiots. Now her profile picture was just her and Noah. Her cover photo? A sunset. No trace of me. She'd even changed her privacy settings. I couldn't see her posts anymore, only the ones her friends tagged her in. Then, on one of the rare nights she did pick up, something else happened. I was trying to talk to Noah, asking him what toys he liked these days, when he said, clear as day, "Uncle Lou took me to the zoo." I blinked. "Who's Uncle Lou?" Mia's face froze for a fraction of a second. Then she laughed, too quickly. "Oh, that's just Lucas. He's Lauren's cousin. He's helping out sometimes when I work late. No big deal." No big deal. Like our son spending time alone with a man I'd never met, never heard of, and who just happened to be all over her social media. My gut twisted, but I smiled through the call, told her to give Noah a kiss for me, told her I love them both. And after the call ended, I sat in the dark, staring at my screen, trying to pretend I didn't feel everything unraveling. I couldn't keep pretending. After the Uncle Lou incident, I tried to play it cool for about a week. I kept hoping Mia would bring it up, explain something about anything that made sense. But she never mentioned him again. Just more missed calls, more busy texts, more silence. So I broke my own rule and wrote her an email. I kept it short, restrained. Just asked one thing. "Mia, I saw the photo. Is there something you're not telling me?" She didn't reply. 3 days passed, then 5. I waited like a fool, checking my inbox during patrols, between drills, after midnight when I couldn't sleep. Nothing. Finally, I called. The first time she didn't pick up. The second time she let it ring until voicemail. On the third try, she answered, but her voice, it was like steel wrapped in silk, cold, calm, final. "Ethan, we need to stop this." I didn't say anything, my throat locked up. She sighed. "I filed for divorce 2 weeks ago. You'll get the paperwork soon if you haven't already." "What?" I whispered. I felt like the wind had been knocked out of me. "I'm with someone else now. His name's Lucas, and I'm in love with him." I didn't want to do this over the phone, but "Then don't," I cut her off. "Wait for me to come home. Say it to my face." "There's no point," she replied. "It's over, Ethan. You should focus on your mission." My mission? I was standing in a concrete bunker with sand in my boots, my rifle leaning against the wall beside me, and the woman I built a family with was telling me, over a grainy satellite connection, that she'd moved on, that she was in love. I laughed. I didn't mean to, it just came out, bitter and broken. "You know, I've been sleeping in a tent between mortar fire and suicide drone alarms," I said quietly. "I've held dying kids in my arms. And you're telling me you fell for some beach guy named Lucas because you were lonely?" "Don't do that," she snapped. "Don't guilt me." I bit down so hard my teeth hurt. "I'm not guilting you. I'm just stunned that after all we've been through, this is how it ends." She didn't say anything. Then she whispered, "He was there when I needed someone." "And I wasn't," I said, my voice shaking, "because I was doing my fucking job." Another silence. Then she said it. "I'm sorry, Ethan, but this isn't your home anymore." That was it. No tears, no begging, no drama, just the quiet collapse of everything I thought I knew. A week later, my best friend back home, Ben, texted me a photo of an envelope addressed to me. Divorce papers, already notarized. Filed. Mia had listed irreconcilable differences. I was listed as currently deployed and unavailable. She hadn't even waited to talk to me. I returned to the States 5 days before Christmas. There was no one waiting for me at the airport. No handmade sign. No little boy running into my arms. Just cold air, a stiff duffel bag, and the echo of families reuniting all around me. I took a cab back to my buddy Ben's place, the same guy who'd warned me about the divorce papers. He let me crash on his couch for the first few weeks. I couldn't bring myself to go back to the apartment Mia and I used to share, even though it was legally no longer mine. She and Lucas had moved in together a month after the paperwork finalized. Same place, same furniture, same bed. But now it wasn't ours. The silence at night was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. I'd fought through firefights and slept through artillery. But nothing prepared me for the quiet in my chest when I scrolled past pictures of my son, smiling in another man's arms. Lucas teaching him how to ride a bike. Lucas helping him carve a pumpkin. Lucas tucking him into the bed. I assembled myself when Noah was still in diapers. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat much. I drank a lot. Whiskey dulled the edge for a while, but the hangovers hit harder than the numbness ever did. Sometimes I'd stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror and wonder how the hell this became my life. A war hero without a war, a father without a child, a husband without a wife. I don't know what made me go that day. Maybe it was the voicemail from my mom, gentle, concerned, urging me to try something. Maybe it was Ben who shoved a brochure into my hand and said, "You need to talk to people who've lived this, not just me." The group was called Iron Fathers, a support circle for military dads who'd lost custody after deployment. We met once a week in a modest building next to a VFW hall. Coffee, folding chairs, wounded hearts. The first time I didn't speak, just listened. One guy talked about how his wife emptied their bank account while he was in Afghanistan. Another cried as he said he hadn't seen his daughter in 9 months. Every man in that room wore the same hollow look in their eyes. I recognized it because I saw it in the mirror every morning, and that's where I met Claire. She didn't talk much at first either, just sat in the back, arms crossed. But after a few meetings, she opened up, said her ex-husband cheated while she was 7 months pregnant, left her for a girl he met at work, took the dog too. She laughed when she said it, but I could see the hurt tucked behind her smile. We started sitting next to each other. After the meetings, we'd linger in the parking lot, talk about our kids, about how it felt to be invisible to the people we loved most, how betrayal made everything, even the past, feel like a lie. One night, I told her the whole story, the beach photo, the Uncle Lou line, the call from Iraq. The papers served behind my back. She didn't pity me. She just nodded. "I know that kind of silence," she said softly. "It's the kind that doesn't come with closure." There was no romance, not yet, just recognition. Two broken people breathing in the same grief. But for the first time in months, I didn't feel alone. I never thought I'd set foot in a family court. But there I was, suit too tight, hands sweating through my tie, standing before a judge, trying to explain why a man who once slept in foxholes deserved a little more than 2 weekends a month with his own son. The Veterans Legal Aid Group helped me file a modification. They walked me through the paperwork, the deadlines, the language that courts respect more than emotion. I submitted everything, my deployment records, my support group logs, even a character letter from Claire. The court date came faster than I expected. Mia didn't show up. No call, no excuse, no Lucas by her side either. I'd heard through Ben that he moved out 3 weeks earlier. Something about needing space. Classic. Her absence worked in my favor. The judge ruled in my favor for expanded visitation, every other week, including overnights. It wasn't everything, but it was a start. The first time Noah stayed the weekend with me, he clutched a stuffed dinosaur I didn't recognize and asked, "Daddy, are we home now?" I almost cried, but I smiled instead. "Yeah, buddy, we're home." Full circle. That was 9 months ago. Claire and I didn't rush anything. No declarations, no labels. We just showed up for each other. She and her daughter, Ava, would come over on Saturdays. Sometimes we'd grill. Sometimes we'd just let the kids chase each other across the backyard until they collapsed in the grass, sticky with juice and joy. We found a little rental outside the city. Nothing fancy, just space, air, peace. I hung up some of my old photos, landscapes from deployment, candid shots of Noah in motion blur. A new series I started, Stillness After Storms. Mia hasn't called. I stopped checking. I stopped needing to. Some nights, when the house is quiet and the kids are asleep, I take my camera out back and shoot the stars. It's silly, maybe, But it reminds me that the sky is vast. That grief, no matter how big it feels, is just a speck against everything still to come. I'm not the man I was before Iraq. I'm not the husband Mia left. But I am a father, a survivor, a man who rebuilt himself, brick by stubborn brick. And that's why I'm writing this. Not for revenge, not even for closure, but for the other Ethans out there, sitting in silence, wondering if they'll ever feel whole again. You will, because in the end, I learned this. She promised to wait. She didn't, but I kept my promise, to my son and to myself.